So I think good morning, dear all. Few students are still, few students are still joining. What I will do, I will start. We will just see the recaps, and let me share my screen. So this is what we had done last time, isn't it? So last time what we had done, we have started with some instructions. Is my screen visible to you all?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. Visible.
Oh, good morning, director sir. Good morning. Oh my God.
Visible, visible. Screen is visible.
Oh, sir, thank you.
I'm telling on behalf of the students.
Good morning, sir.
Oh,
good
sir,
morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Very good morning.
Oh, please continue. You continue.
Oh, sir. Just I was doing the recap of last whatever we had done. So sorry, sir. I couldn't know that you have joined it.
I have just joined.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So now students will keep on coming in waiting room. I will just admit them, but we'll start with the session because otherwise we'll get late. So we'll start with this quote. I will love the light for it shows me the way, yet I will endure the darkness because it shows me the stars, just to motivate you. And we will just continue with the books. I just continue this every time because whoever was unable to attend the last class, they will also come to know. And these are the instructions. Attendance, I had already told you that you have to write your roll number like 36 and then name in the chat box whenever I will instruct you. And the students who are starting from the roll numbers who are starting from 2017, that is 17, they will write last 4 digits of the number. And the one who are lateral entry students, they will write 901 kind of and then their name. And you can put your questions in chat box, and you can raise the hand and ask me the question. Then we will go with the next slide. We were starting with instruction sets, and we had completed. We have seen there are 4 types of question. There are 5 types of instruction sets: data transfer instructions, arithmetic instructions, logical instructions, and branching instructions, and control instructions. So we have seen just these types, and we were just about to start with the instructions. Few of the instructions we have already seen. So these instructions we have seen already. You are able to listen to me, all of you?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. You could see my screens?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now it is admitting. I am admitting the students. So last time we have done this, but now we'll continue with the next. So we were doing with data transfer instructions. So in last time also we have seen few of the data transfer instructions. What data transfer instructions they do? They transfer the data from source to destination. So source to destination means where they will transfer the data. Let's say this is your source register. So whatever the data, the 8-bit data is available in this source register, it will transfer to the uh, destination register. So we have three kinds of instructions in this. We can have move register to register. We can have move memory to register. Last time I have told you what is M stands for. M is the register which is formed due to pairing of HL pair. If H contains 20 hex and L contains 50 hex, then your address is 2050 hex, and whatever is available at 2050 hex will be your contents of M. So wherever your HL is pointing out, that will be your memory register. So this data transfer takes place between register to register, between memory to register, and between memory to register. So this is the source and this is the destination. So last time we have seen one example and we have seen one small program also. So let's move further with further instructions. This also we have seen, this is immediate data transfer. MVI, R stands for any register. What can be R? Anybody? Sakshi, can you answer what can be R?
Yes, ma'am. There is 8 registers, accumulator, फिर 0 flag register, B, C, D, E,
No,
H and L
flag
register.
register is not there. Flag register is not there.
Yes,
Accumulator is there. B register
ma'am.
is there. C register is there. D, E, and HL. And it is followed by
Yes, ma'am.
8-bit data. So this data is immediate, and whatever you write over here, let's say suppose if you are writing MVI B 60 hex, that means 60 stands for immediate data, and this immediate data will go into B register. So always your rightmost side is your source and left position is your destination. If I write MVI M, 40, then 40 will go into M, but where ultimately it will go to HL pair, because M stands for HL pair combination. So this is what few data instructions. We will move further with the other instructions. Once we'll complete the instruction set, at least few of the instruction set, then we will start writing programs. Last time we have done that, we have completed few instructions, and based on that we have written one program. So can you see this slide is visible? LDA 16-bit
Yes,
address.
ma'am.
This is also data transfer
Yes, ma'am.
instruction. This is also data transfer instruction. What it does? It does LDA, that means load accumulator. From where? The contents of memory location specified by 16-bit address. You all know that 8085 is having 16-bit address lines. So your address is 16-bit address. Always the memory location will have the address 16-bit. So your example can be LDA 200 hex. So your 200 hex will be your 16-bit address, and contents of this memory location specified by 200 hex will be copied into accumulator, because load accumulator with the data of 16-bit register. So what is my 16-bit register? My 16-bit register is 200. Now we'll see the execution of this particular instruction. You will come to know that how internally it works. So it will work like can you see this? Can you see this part?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, execution of LDA instruction. So let's say before execution of this LDA instruction, let's say memory location 2000 hex is containing the data 30 hex. And once you execute this particular instruction LDA 2000, then whatever is available at 2000, what is available at 2000? 30 hex is available at 2000. So where this 30 hex will go? This 30 hex will go into accumulator. So once you execute this particular instruction, whatever may be the previous data of accumulator, it will get replaced by the data of 2000 hex memory location. Now don't get confused with the 2000 and accumulator contents, because 2000 is 16-bit register, so 16-bit data. So 16-bit data cannot go to accumulator, because what is the capacity of accumulator? Capacity of accumulator is 8-bit. So if you have to remember it, you cannot transfer 16-bit data into accumulator. So what will go into accumulator? Whatever is available at 2000 memory location. Now what will be available at 2000 memory location? Because 8085 microprocessor is 8-bit microprocessor, so always this 16-bit address will contain 8-bit data. So whatever data will be available at this memory location will only go into accumulator. So I think it is clear to you. And how can you remember? You can remember this as LD stands for load. From where the loading will to which place the loading will be done? Loading will be done to accumulator. From where the loading will be done? The loading will be done from this particular 16-bit address. So if you are, this is the way you have to remember. For us, we understand this LDA 2000, but microprocessor will not understand LDA 2000. What microprocessor will understand? Microprocessor will understand the code assigned to it, the opcode assigned to that particular instruction. Now moving further with data transfer instruction, next instruction is, am I too fast? Dear students, are you able to understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, good. So next instruction is LDAX register pair. Now what this stands for? This stands for load accumulator. We have seen LDA. So LDA stands for load accumulator. But from where it should be loaded and what should be loaded into accumulator, that will be given by the next word. So what is the next word? It is X. So always X stands for register pair. If you write here LDAX and then register pair, so register pair means how many register pairs are there? Anybody can answer how many register pairs are there?
Ma'am, 2 register pairs, one for memory, B, C and D register pairs, and H and L ka combination is memory location.
Yeah,
Memory.
good. Yeah, good. So now it is 3, na? Because HL is also there. So B will form BC
Yes,
pair,
ma'am.
D will form DE pair, and H will form HL pair. So there are 3 register pairs, and you will see that if you are writing LDAX register pair, so if you are writing here LDAXD, then what will happen? We'll see the execution of this. Let's say your D register is containing 20, and let's say your E register is containing 30. So what is the combination of DE? It is 2030. That means now this D will act as address. So what is the address formed by this register pair? The address formed by this register pair is 2030. And what is available at 2030? It is 80 hex data, 8-bit data. Now where this data will go after execution of LDAXD, this data will go to accumulator. So whatever may be the previous contents of accumulator, the address formed by register pair DE will be your address, and whatever is available at that particular address will go into accumulator. So after execution of LDAX, what will be now contents of, if the condition is this, what will be the contents of accumulator? The contents of accumulator will be 80 hex. So is it clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. So I request all the students, like you should not be delayed, because unnecessarily you will lose the content whatever like we are going through, because we have to cover the instruction sets very fast, because we have to do programming of this, then we have to go with the microcontroller also and interfacing also. Two subjects are combined totally to form one subject, so we have lots of things to cover. Yeah, Ananya, you have raised the hand, so please unmute yourself and ask the question.
Ma'am, you are going little fast. We are unable to understand.
Okay, good. I will be little slower. So previous instructions, could you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I'm able to understand them.
Yeah, whichever instruction you are not understanding, all of you, I'm just instructing. If you have any problem, you can raise your hand, you can unmute yourself. Even if you are not raising the hand, you can unmute yourself and you can ask the question. Okay, so next instruction is, I will do the whenever I will finish this, I will do the recap also of this, so we will have the revision. So next
Okay, ma'am.
instruction is data transfer. Still, students, how many students have joined now? Anybody can show?
43, ma'am.
43. Okay, good. So STA stands for storing. Now, from where to which to store, what to store on, from where to store. So this is also data transfer instruction. The contents of accumulator are copied into memory location, that is address specified by the operand. This part is called as operand part. So now previously we were seeing LDA and then 16-bit address. This is exactly opposite. This is STA and 16-bit address. So previously accumulator was getting loaded with the contents of 16-bit address. But now here it is exactly opposite. Whatever is available in accumulator, that will be copied into 16-bit address. So if we take example, Ananya, now it is okay, the speed is okay?
Yes, ma'am, it's okay.
Yeah. Still I will go little slow. So if I talk about this, if my instruction is this, let me go to the example of execution of this particular instruction. So we'll see the execution of this. Let's say my instruction is STA and 16-bit address means, for example, we will take 16-bit address as 2000. So now what is my 16-bit? Why I call this a 16-bit address? This I have explained you. Each number is our nibble. Nibble means
4-bit data.
Yeah, right. Good. So yeah. So we were here. So don't annotate the screen. I think somebody is annotating. No, I forgot to de-annotate it for participant size. So let's say our instruction is STA 2000. So STA 2000 means my 16-bit address is 2000. So 2 stands for 0010, 0 stands for 000, 0 stands for 0000, and this is also 0000. So what is my 16-bit address? 16-bit address is 200 hex. So whatever is now before execution, let's say my accumulator is containing 50 hex of data. So 50 hex of data, and if I execute this particular instruction, then where this 50 hex will go, this 50 hex will go to the memory location 2000 hex. Because 2000 each, whether the address is 16-bit, the capacity of storing the data at that particular address is how much? The capacity of storing the data at each memory location is how much?
1 byte.
8-bit, yes. So though the address is 16-bit, their 8-bit data will only get stored. So accumulator is 8-bit register. So what is available previously in accumulator? 50. And when we call this as data transfer instruction, so it is transferring the data. Transferring the data means original data is not changing, isn't it? So whatever
Yes, ma'am.
now, whatever is available, Ananya, is it clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
So can you explain me what is STA is doing? Can you explain me what is STA is doing? Ananya, go ahead fast. Whatever you have understood, please. Are you there listening or gone?
Ma'am, it is, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, the address is specified by the operand. It is doing the work of an operand. It is specifying the address.
Okay. So now what this instruction will do? What this instruction will do? Why I'm asking you? Because I want to
Ma'am,
just
it
check
will,
my speed of delivery. If you understand this, then only there is point in proceeding further. If the students are not understanding, then there is no point in proceeding further.
ma'am, it is accumulating all the data, all the content, and saving it and copying it into memory location.
Yes, good. So whatever is available, storing. ST stands for storing. From where it is storing?
Yes,
It is
ma'am.
storing from accumulator. Where it is storing to the memory location 2000. So whatever may be the contents of accumulator, we don't have to bother that what we are going to store in 2000 memory location. This instruction will only do whatever is there in accumulator. It will store into 2000 memory location. So now is it clear now? Clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So we'll go with the next data transfer instruction. It is STA X register pair. So last time we have done the just prior to this we have done one LDA X. So I told you X stands for, when we write X, then it is understood that the following will be the register pair. So now this is, as we have seen LDA X, now we are seeing STA X. So what STA was doing? STA was doing, with STA there was direct memory address, 16-bit address, but here 16-bit address is given indirectly. How you can give 16-bit address indirectly? By putting the pair, register pair. So it can be register pair BC, it can be DE pair, it can be HL pair. So if I write STAX register pair, and if let's say if I write the instruction STAXB, then how the execution will be? The execution will be, if my B is containing 10 and if my C register is containing 20, then what the BC pair will form? The BC pair will form 1020. So now this is my 16-bit address which is pointed out by BC pair. So whatever may be in accumulator, let's say accumulator is containing 50 hex data. So whatever may be in accumulator, that will go into the memory register, memory location pointed out by BC pair. So now what is BC pair was pointing out? BC pair was pointing out, according to this particular example, BC pair was pointing out 1020. So accumulator data 50 hex will go into BC pair, that is 1020 memory location. So now 1020 memory location will contain 50 hex. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you have understood? Previously we were seeing that it was 16-bit address when there was no X. But once you put X, it is now no longer 16-bit address given directly. It is the address formed indirectly with register pair. So register pair can be formed by B, that is BC. Register pair can be formed by D, that is DE. And register pair can be formed by H, that is HL. So Whatever may be formed by BC register pair, now this will act as address. If I write D over here, then whatever will point out by DE register pair, that will be your address. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, good. So next instruction we will see LHLD, and then 16-bit, it is followed by 16-bit address. So what LHLD do? LHLD is doing, it is copy the content of 2050 memory location and 2051 memory location. Whatever we will write over here, exactly the subsequent address, that is 2051, is also considered. If I write over here 2000, then next address considered will be 2001. So whatever I will write, that will be the base address 2050. And what will happen if my 2050 content of 2050 and 2051 to HL pair? So if my memory location 2050 is containing 90 hex previously initially, and if my 2051 memory location is containing 5A hex of data, then where this will go after execution of LHLD instruction? After execution of LHLD instruction, this lower address is considered for L and higher address is considered for H. So whatever may be the contents of 2050 will go into L register, and whatever may be the contents of 2051 will go into H register. So my L register now will contain 90 hex because 2050 is containing 90 hex, and my H register will contain now 5A hex because my 2051 memory location is containing 5A hex. Is it clear to you? LHLD operation?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you are clear. See, now you just have to understand the instructions. I know that it is little bit difficult for you to remember each and every instructions, but as and when you will start writing the programs, you yourself will able to remember the instructions, because without these instructions there will be difficulty in writing the program. So for each particular operation you have to use different instruction, and by writing the program you yourself will come to know, you yourself will remember the instructions. So I think LHLD is clear to all. We will move further with another instruction. We are still at data transfer instruction. There are 5 categories of instructions, I told you, but now we are still at first category of instructions. But let you understand all these instructions properly, then it will help you to write the good program. So next instruction is LXI, and then this will be RP. If I write RP, then it is not a single register, it is considered as register pair. And then 16 followed by 16-bit address. So if I write this type of instruction, then it means load register pair with immediate data. What is that immediate data? Load register pair with immediate data. Now, if I write the instruction, register pair can be formed by BC, can be formed by DE, and can be formed by HL. So let's say we will take one example, LXI B 2050. Now my pair, register pair is BC pair. So what will happen? This is 50 is lower byte. So lower byte will go to C register, and higher byte will go to, this is 20 is higher byte. So higher byte will go to B register. So after execution of this instruction, 20 hex will go to B register and 50 hex will go to C register. Understood? LXI, I stands for immediate. What is that immediate? Immediate data. Immediate data is this. L stands for loading, and I told you X stands for register pair. If it is register pair, X comes in the instruction. So L stands for loading, as X stands for register pair, I stands for immediate data. RP stands for the register pair, and immediate data is your 16-bit data. So if my example is LXI D2050, then 20 will go into D register and 50 will go into E register. Understood? All
Yes,
of you?
ma'am.
Yeah. So if this one instruction is similar to two instructions. What are the two instructions? MVI B, 20 and MVI C, 50. So if I write MVI, I stands for immediate data and MV stands for move. So what is moved to B register? 20 is the immediate data that is moved to B register, and 50 is the immediate data that is moved to C register. If I would not be having this particular instruction, then I would have been writing these two instructions to get the operation, to get the loading of B by 20 and to get the loading of C by 50. But and this will take 2 bytes. Each instruction will take 2 bytes. Why 2 bytes? One is for the opcode MVIB and another is for 20 hex data. So this instruction will get 2 bytes and this instruction will take 2 bytes. So how many bytes will be consumed with these two instructions? 4 bytes. But similar operation if I am doing with this particular instruction LXI B, 2050, then LXI B for this particular it will take one opcode followed by 20 followed by 50. So this instruction, how many bytes it is taking? It is taking 3 bytes. So for the same operation, these two instructions were taking 4 bytes and this instruction is taking 3 bytes. So by writing this one instruction, you are saving 1 byte in your memory location. So that's why these instructions are generated, because wherever you have to write lengthy programs, then it is always better to try to save the number of bytes. Hence, this particular instruction is designed, and this instruction is doing the job of these two instructions. Understood? LXI RP 16-bit?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we'll move further.
Yes, ma'am.
Next data transfer instruction is SHLD 16-bit address. So SHLD 16-bit address, how many participants are there now? Because I'm sharing the screen, so I don't come to know.
Ma'am, 46.
Okay, let me see also if I could see number of, okay, I will see number of participants. There are 47. So whoever has not, how many of them have not joined total? I think there are total 68 students are there, isn't it?
No, ma'am, 64.
64 are there, okay. But I think I have the list of 68 students. No problem.
And some of them left the college and some of them are not having this subject in this semester.
For?
Actually some are readmitted students and readmitted ex students, and ex students are following different syllabus. They are following the 17th batch syllabus.
So whatever list I am having, the student, they will not follow this particular subject syllabus.
I'll send you the updated list. That will be the final list of all the students that are currently in our semester.
Okay, good. So how many of you have joined here? 47. Yeah, we were following with the data transfer instructions. So it is SHLD. Next data transfer categories are SHLD 16-bit address. Now S stands for storing. From where it is storing? From where storing? HL. So HL is the register pair. Store HL register pair in memory. Now the contents of what this is doing, contents of register L are stored into memory location specified by 16-bit address. Whatever address will be here, 2500. Now let's say we'll take one example. What this particular instruction is doing, we'll see that. Let's say your instruction is SHLD and 16-bit address means, for example, we will take 2500. So 2500 is your 16-bit address, and H is containing, let's say, 30 and L is containing 60. So what is 2500 for, where is 2500? 2500, let's say it is available in memory location. Now what will go at 2500 memory location after the execution of this instruction? The content, because 2500 is considered as lower memory location. So 30 will go, whatever is at this particular H will go to, before execution, let's say H is containing 30 and L is containing 60. So when I am writing this particular instruction SHLD 2500, then 30 will go into, after execution, 30 will go into anybody?
2500X.
Yeah, 2500 hex.
In instruction 2500 hex address is given.
So, but why not H contents are going to 2501, and why not it is going to your H contents are going to 2500? Because your instruction is written as SHLD. So it is very easy for you to remember that whatever is available at H will go into 2500 memory location, and whatever is available at L will go into little one place lower memory location. So 204F, if we subtract 251 from 2500, what is the memory location? 204F. So 204F memory location will contain 60, because L is your lower register and H is your higher register. So understood?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, in previous slide you were right, the content of register L are stored into memory location specified the 16-bit address. But here
Which one? The just immediate
the
slide?
content of
Just immediate slide?
yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, the
second line
contents of
देखिए
register L are stored into memory location specified by 16-bit address, and contents of H are stored into the next memory location. Good. You are absolutely right, isn't it? So what should be here? What should be here? What is the mistake over here? The mistake over here is whatever is at L will go into 2500 memory location, and what is the next immediate memory location? 2501. So contents of H will go to 2501 memory location. So this is a mistake over here. It is not decremented. Yeah, okay. Romit has raised the hand. Ask your question, Romit.
What if we have already some data in that memory location 2500X?
That will get replaced. H and L, it is data transfer. So from where it is transferring from HL. So from wherever it is transferring, at that place the data is not changed. H will be having 30 only and L will be having 60 only. But wherever it is transferring, that place data will be overwritten by the new data. So now your L will go into, L contents that is 60 will go into 2500, and 2500 will be incremented by 1 for storing the contents of H. Here it is a mistake. I will correct this, but good, it is pointed out. That means you are understanding it better. So HL contents will go into 2500 memory location. So whatever may be previous contents of 2500, let's say initially 2500 may be containing 20 hex or 40 hex data, but now it will be overwritten with the new data. So Romit, understood? Romit,
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
clear?
yes, ma'am.
So now next instruction
Yes,
will do. This is also data transfer instruction. So this what is this doing? This is just these are just simple 4 letters, X, C, H, G. So X stands for exchange over here. When your instruction is starting from X, it is denoted for exchange. But if X is coming in between of the instruction, then it refers to register pair. But here it is exchange. Exchange from where it will exchange? It will exchange the contents of HL pair with DE pair. That means H in HL pair, H is your higher register, and in DE pair, D is your higher register. So H contents will be exchanged with D contents, and L contents will be exchanged with E contents. That means whatever is in E will go into L, and whatever is in L will go into E. And whatever is in H will go into D, and whatever is in D will go into H. As nothing is there after this, it is only XCHG, and no other operand is written beside this. So it is understood that it is valid only between HL pair and DE pair. You cannot exchange the contents between DE and BC. You cannot exchange the contents between HL and BC. Only exchange can occur in HL pair and DE pair. So H contents will be exchanged with D contents. So let's say we'll see one example. If initially my contents of D registers is 20, content of E register is 40, content of H is 70, and content of L is 80. This is my initial status before execution of XCHG. But after execution, what will happen? The H contents will change with D contents, and L contents will change with E contents, and vice versa. So now D will have this 70 will go into D, and this 20 will go into H. This 40 will go into L, and this 80 will go into E. So understood exchange instruction?
Yes, ma'am.
So exchange is valid only between HL pair and DE pair. It is not valid for any other register pair. HL and BC cannot be exchanged. BC and DE cannot be exchanged. Only exchange is possible between HL and DE. So shall we move further with another instruction? Let me see how many instructions are remaining, because next time I want to do some arithmetic. Okay, only few, 1 or 2 instructions are remaining. So we'll see this particular SPHL. Yeah. So what SPHL is, this is also data transfer instruction. Move data from HL pair to stack pointer. SP stands for stack pointer, and HL is your HL pair. So if we see the example, and again there is no operand with SPHL. SPHL is a just 4 letters instruction. So if you see the example, suppose if whatever may be your stack pointer, I have told you that stack pointer is 16-bit register. So suppose if your H is containing 25 and L is containing 00, so after execution of this instruction, stack pointer will be having address 2500, because 2500 is formed by HL pair. So I think SPHL is clear to you. It is very simple. SP stands for stack pointer, and how the stack pointer is derived, what will be the location of stack pointer? The location of stack pointer will be formed by HL pair. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So we'll go with the next data transfer instruction. Only one or two are remaining. It is XTHL. XTHL means X stands for exchange. Exchange between what? HL with top of the stack. Now, suppose if we see the example of this, we'll see the example. What is it written over here? The contents of H register. Let's say before execution, let's say my contents are like this. Before execution, my stack pointer is given as 2700, pointing out 2700. And H is containing 30 and L is containing 14. This is before execution status. Now, when I execute XTHL, then what will happen? What will happen if I do this XTHL? 2700 will contain 40, and because why 2700 will contain 40? Because 2700 is pointed out by stack pointer. So for now 40 hex data, and why 40 will be going there? Because 40 is the data of L, and whatever address we consider, that address is lower address first. So 2700 will contain 40 and 2701 will contain the data of H, that is 30. So this is the way your instruction XTHL is working. Why XTHL? Why we write it XTHL? Because here we have seen for stack pointer it is SP. So if I write SPHL or some other thing, it will be confused with this particular instruction. So for stack pointer, it is decided that let the first two letters will be XT. So if I write XTHL, then my stack 2700 is my stack pointer memory location. It will contain 40 hex data, because 40 hex data is the data of L register, and 2701 will contain 30 hex, that is data of H register. Clear? Or any doubt? Is anybody having any doubt?
No, ma'am.
But one thing is there, you have not all of you have not noticed it. What is that? Now initially H was containing 30 and L was containing 40. Now what is H containing?
60
And
hex.
what is L containing? 50.
50 hex.
Why this has happened? Because it is exchange. Exchange means
Yes, ma'am.
the data of
With
this
stack
as
location.
L data is going to 2700 memory location data will go into L. And what is 2700 memory location data? It is 50. So 50 will go into L because it is exchange. So exchange is always between two places. First place data will go into second, and second place data will come into previous one. So that's why it is called as exchange. Now I think the last instruction, data transfer instruction is remaining. We'll see that also. PCHL. What is this? Load program counter with HL. PC stands for program counter. Program counter is also your 16-bit register. So as we have seen SPHL, similarly PCHL is working, but in SPHL the register was stack pointer. In PCHL the register is program counter. So if we see the execution of this, whatever may be the previous contents of PC, let's say suppose if your H is containing 60 and L is containing 00, then after execution PC will contain 6000. Why? Because it is formed by HL 60 and 00. So after execution your program counter will contain 6000. Understood? Very much similar to SPHL, but in SPHL it was program counter, stack pointer. Now in PCHL it is program counter. So we'll move with the last instruction of data transfer. in 8-bit address. Okay, this we can see little later also. Maybe next time also we can see this, because this is data transfer instruction, but little bit understanding of other things are also needed. So we'll see this next time. I request all of you to put your attendance in chat box immediately. You know the way how to put the attendance in chat box. So all of you put your attendance in chat box. "49 participants are there. Now still somebody is entering. Why? At the end, there are now 51 students. All are joining for attendance. So is anybody left with attendance? All of you have written? Yes, I will upload this, all the lectures today only. I will upload it in. I didn't get time at all last time. So all of you have written your attendance?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Just a moment. Let me copy. Let me save your attendance. Because what happens?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Ma'am, there is a question
Huh.
of XTHL. Ma'am, why is it important to convert A and B into HL so that it can be converted? Matlab, we cannot directly convert A, B into SP.
No, actually, can you be little more clear what you want to ask? I am not getting the question.
Ma'am,
थोड़ा
you
clear
said
करके
about
बता दो.
exchange.
हाँ,
मैम
XTHL
आपने
पे
जो
XTHL
exchange
पे
के
आते हैं.
बारे में,
हाँ, yes, XTHL पे आते हैं. Let me
तो
just
मैम ये
save your
सिर्फ HL के साथ क्यों होता है और किसी के साथ हम क्यों नहीं कर सकते एक्सचेंज?
क्योंकि मैन्युफैक्चरर ने नहीं बनाया वो. एक्चुअली मैन्युफैक्चरर हैज गिवन these are the limitations of programming or instruction, or it is a limitation of architecture, whatever architecture 885 is having. So it is a limitation of this particular designing, manufacturing. Why? Because if you are having more instructions, then it will need more hardware inside the chip, and with available hardware inside the chip, it is not possible to incorporate all the instructions. So what has done that, let's say the circuit, because each instruction means there will be one circuit for each instruction, because
Yes,
ऐसे
ma'am.
ही डाटा यहाँ से वहां नहीं जाता. For each operation there will be inside, there will be some logic gates, there will be some controlling signals, there will be some latches, some flip flops, and the instruction is decoded. But if you are going with higher number of instructions, then as and when instructions are increasing, hardware will also increase, and then it will not become possible with 40 pin IC. So whatever available with the hardware, whatever instructions were possible, that were incorporated in 885. Then suppose if you want to have higher features, then why to go with 885? Then manufacturer will manufacture another microprocessor. Understood?
Okay,
So that's why there is a difference between 885 microprocessor and other microprocessors. they are not similar in instruction set, and that's why they are not similar in hardware. So that's why
Okay,
they are
ma'am.
not having same number. So if I talk about 885, whatever manufacturer has given me, I have to go with that only. So whatever instruction set I am available with, I have to go with the same instruction set. So that's why, because incorporating lot many instructions will increase your hardware, and that was not possible that time whenever this was getting manufactured. That time it was not possible to incorporate all the things in single chip. But nowadays we have microprocessors, microcontrollers. They are having number of applications, number of operations, number of exchange instructions. There it is possible because hardware is supporting that. Understood?
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Good.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
मैम एचएल पेयर से हम मेमोरी लोकेशन को तो प्राप्त कर सकते हैं, लाइक बीसी और डी रजिस्टर पेयर से तो हम मेमोरी लोकेशन नहीं, मेमोरी के एड्रेस तक नहीं पहुंच सकते, तो क्या मैम इसी पर्पज से हम स्टैक पॉइंटर का लोकेशन एचएल पेयर में एक्सचेंज कराते हैं?
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है। आपका बीसी पेयर भी मेमोरी लोकेशन फॉर्म करता है, डी पेयर भी मेमोरी लोकेशन फॉर्म करता है, और एचएल पेयर भी मेमोरी लोकेशन फॉर्म करता है। बट हम जब एम की बात करते हैं, एम रजिस्टर, एम के लिए ओनली एचएल का पॉइंटिंग आउट किया हुआ माना जाएगा।
तो मैम क्या इसीलिए कि हम यम को पॉइंट आउट कर सकें और स्टैक पॉइंटर में जो डाटा है उसके हिसाब से हम कर सके, तो ये भी तो हो सकता है?
इसलिए नहीं, इसलिए क्योंकि सिर्फ एक रजिस्टर पेयर को इम्पोर्टेंस दिया जाना था, क्योंकि अगर हम सबको इम्पोर्टेंस देते हैं तो फिर हार्डवेयर बढ़ जाएगा। एक ही रजिस्टर, इसलिए हमने एक रजिस्टर पेयर को इम्पोर्टेंस देना था, तो ये डिसाइड किया कि एचएल को इम्पोर्टेंस दिया जाए। तो सारे पीसीएचएल, एसपीएचएल, एक्सटीएचएल के लिए हमने एचएल पेयर ही लिया, मतलब मैन्युफैक्चरर ने, और इसीलिए एचएल को ही हम एम मानते हैं। बीसी के फॉर्म किए हुए रजिस्टर को हम एम नहीं मानते, डी के फॉर्म किए हुए रजिस्टर को हम एम नहीं मानते। बट बीसी इज आल्सो पॉइंटिंग आउट मेमोरी लोकेशन, डी इज आल्सो पॉइंटिंग आउट सम मेमोरी लोकेशन, बट इट इज नॉट एम. That data will not come into M register. Understood?
Yes ma'am, thank you ma'am.
ठीक है, तो ये मतलब ऐसा ये हमने नहीं सोचा है, ये मैन्युफैक्चरर ने डिसाइड किया कि उसको कोई भी एक रजिस्टर पेयर को से लेकर काम चलाना है, तो उसने उसके लिए एचएल को चूज किया। ठीक है?
Yes ma'am.
Understood? So I will now stop presenting and I will ask you to put your video on so that I can capture the photo. Stop sharing. Close. Let me close this. So you put your cameras on. Camera on. All of you put your camera on. And don't pin your screen. All of you put your camera on. Don't pin your screen. साक्षी स्क्रीन को, अपना स्क्रीन को पिन मत करो। एक पिन का ऑप्शन आता है, पिन मत करो उसको, क्योंकि मुझे सबका ग्रिड आना है। मुझे अभी तुम्हारा फोटो अकेला दिखाई दे रहा।
मैम मैंने कोई पिन नोट नहीं किया है इस पे।
अच्छा, तो फिर क्यों आ रहा है? पिन आउट नहीं रहता है, पिन जैसा सिंबल बना रहता है। अभी इतने ही पार्टिसिपेंट्स है और 44 आर देयर, सो वेयर आर द अदर? You have to you have to put your camera on, otherwise I will not consider the attendance. Where are other students? Yes, good, lovely picture. So I could see Romit, I could see Unnat, I could see Ajay, Ananya, Ankit, Ranjita, Akash, Vivek Pandey, Ankush. महिप का वीडियो ऑन नहीं है, नूर अहमद, विनय, अभय, सुमिता, आकांक्षा, अगेन आकांक्षा, अंश, खरे, रश्मि, प्रवीर, विकास, चारू, देवांश, वैशवी.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. I have gone to the other page also. I could see Mahip, Anjali, Utkarsh, Shubham, Aman. हाँ.
Ma'am, I don't have the camera function on my laptop.
Okay, okay, good, no problem. Those who are having, you can put your camera. So today we can capture. Utkarsh is there. Mahip has also come. विकास, बीच में महिप क्या नाश्ता करने चला गया था क्या? शुभम, सोनू, अंकिता, कौशल, क्षेत्रज्ञ, यश. देर आर टू. अच्छा, क्षेत्रज्ञ यहाँ पे है. तुषार, विकास, चारू अगेन, देवांश, सुमिता, अंजलि गुप्ता, अमन का वीडियो ऑन नहीं है, सचिन, शुभम का है, योगेश एंड विजय वर्मा. वैष्णवी is also, yeah, okay, video is on. Yeah, time to time I want to see you because otherwise I will forget the face after a long time. We are not meeting in college. So I have captured the photos. Sachin, Aman, Anjali, Yogesh, Vijay, Praveer. Video is off. Okay, then we will end the meeting. All of you have to submit the assignment. Only Sakshi has submitted me the assignment. You all have to submit me after 15th August. Let me give you some more time. Okay, whatever we have done today, you have to learn all these things and be prepared for programming next time. So whatever previous assignment I have given, you have to submit me through mail or through WhatsApp. Only Sakshi has submitted the assignment. So we'll close.